who would enjoy speaking on behalf of his or her fellow students. Good evening. I have the pleasure of introducing the 2014 valedictorian, Taylor Patterson. Taylor can be considered an ambassador for Malvern Collegiate. He embodies all of the qualities of a 20th century learner: creative thinker, innovator, collaborator, entrepreneur, and leader. As Taylor's guidance counselor, we had several conversations. One in particular was in grade 11 when Taylor made the decision to run for student council vice president. I asked Taylor, why vice president when you can be president? Taylor made a change to his submission, and a week later, Taylor was named student council president. Taylor has made a significant contribution to school life here at Malvern Collegiate. Teachers and students alike will forever remember his voice over the morning announcements, and I told Taylor many occasions that he might be the next Matt Galloway. I'm sure that Ryerson University has realized this as well. Honored guests, graduating class, ladies and gentlemen, I present Taylor Patterson.
September 10th, 2010. The scariest day of our high school careers. Also known as Freshman Friday. When we grade 9s were given a 15-minute early dismissal to reach our houses before any trouble could start. But not even that could save us. I remember it clearly. Austin, Masinga, Carson, and I were walking down Malvern Avenue on our way home. We reached the corner of Malvern and Kingston and we're about to go our separate ways, when suddenly, a shadow was cast down upon us. A shadow so big none of us could escape it. We looked up, and believe it or not, there stood a full-grown giant, otherwise known as the Great Falls Boy. We turned to escape, but behind us were 15 more giants, all holding bags of flour and egg cartons. There was no way out. They led us to the ravine across the street, lined us up, gave us a good spanking, covered us in eggs, caked us in flour, and chased us out of the ravine. When we were free, I remember cleaning the eggs off my sweater and thinking, this is high school, and I can't wait until Monday. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, teachers, staff, my dearest graduates, and my fellow shirtless joggers. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Taylor Patterson, being the scholar he is, has probably handcrafted the most beautiful speech ever known to man. And honestly, I don't blame you. However, I stand up here for one reason, and one reason alone. And that reason is to represent the graduating class of 2014. So instead of using the past 5 months to write the greatest speech of all time, I did what any other Malvern student would do. Procrastinated until the night before, pulled an all-nighter, and hope for the best. But in all seriousness, we've come a long way together, Malvern. Let's go back to the beginning of our high school careers. Look back to form spring and silly bands. Look back to when Molly and Luke magically split the vote for grade 9 representative. Twice. Look back to becoming a cheerleader. Look back to water Philly jams. Look back to sneaking food in the library without Miss Zito knowing. Look back to getting caught by Miss Zito and being banned from the library. Look back every once in a while and appreciate what we've had. That way you can realize how much we still have to look forward to. 4 years ago, we found ourselves in a completely foreign environment, meeting new people, forging new friendships, fulfilling new expectations, and overall, learning to express ourselves in entirely new ways. Throughout the years, we've experienced memories that will never leave us. Having the opportunity to have gone here is an honor. Malvern gave everyone the chance to express themselves in their own way, from the improv club, student council, and even cabaret. Each and every moment is cherished, from working out with Mr. Corn, chatting with Mr. Lair, or laughing with Mr. Yakabuchi. And we'll remember these moments for the rest of our lives. By the time we had reached grade 12, we knew who we were, what we wanted, and for the first time in our lives, we were beginning to respect the responsibilities that were set out for us. Some of these responsibilities are challenging, others are gratifying, but they're all rewarding. As we progress through life, we realize that this very day will become one of our most unforgettable memories. After all, today is our day, and nobody can take that away from us. Now's the time for all of us to be honored, because in the end, it was us who progressed through these past 4 years. Not our teachers, not our parents, but us. We grew and matured with the help of many. But in the end, each and every one of us was responsible for our own success. Today is the day of rebirth. And yes, I somehow managed to relate my speech to Genesis. I thank you, Mr. Bones. But if you think about it, there really is. Sometimes I think about waking up for drama rehearsals at 7 a.m., the weird tech room smell that would consume the halls. Those horrifically annoying kids on the announcements last year. And though I'm happy to be done with all those things, I'm always going to miss them. But I can tell they're evolving. Growing up from the kids we once were into young adults. And even though we'll always miss aspects of our past, we all have so much to look forward to. Like university day, rent, unemployment, just being old. But even with all that fun stuff ahead of us, our ending here at Malvern isn't really an ending at all. It's the beginning of the rest of our lives. I mean, it's not like when our parents graduated back in the 1800s. Have to send smoke signals to communicate with one another. In a way, we'll always be together. We'll always be there to give you that like on that new Instagram photo. To post the new kitten video we found on YouTube. To Snapchat our ugliest faces. To listen to Jesse rant about the New World Order. And his fresh pair of red Octobers. And most importantly, we'll always be there to send you a Facebook notification to play Candy Crush, whether you want to or not. As a Malvern student representative, I'm not going to stand up here and tell you not to be stupid, not to be scared, and not to make mistakes, even though some of you could surely use that advice. Instead, I'm going to stand in front of you and tell you to do the exact opposite. To be silly, to be scared, and to make mistakes. Because how else do we learn? The most important thing I can express to you is just to be happy with whatever you do. Try appreciating each moment and wake up every morning aiming to have the most successful day of your life. Look what we're wearing. Seems like we're attending a funeral for a past. Instead, I think today should be seen as a baby shower for all the good things to come. Be wild. Be vibrant. Wear something you'd find in Abraham's closet. Act like Spencer Lee for the day. I assure you, you will have some amusing results. Watch a Paul Rudd movie. Throw glitter. And most importantly, live every moment to the fullest. Now, at this point of the speech is where most people would quote Dr. Seuss or Maya Angelou. But I thought I'd take a more personal approach and quote some people who we're all familiar with. The following are portraits of the Malvern experience told by students of the graduating class in 2014. Malvern was one hell of a wave that all of us were lucky to catch. Heather Aberry. A place for self-discovery. Elena Fornazari. Malvern's an oligarchy. Ben Junor. Personal favorite. Malvern had an amazing president. Mariana Kirkwood-Lazarus. That one might be biased. Malvern had a bad president, Owen Mitchell. You win some, you lose. High school was significantly better the first time around. Jacob J. As much as people hate to admit it, Malvern's a community. We We all went about our business together, classes, projects, teams, clubs, and gatherings. Throughout the years at MCI, we did it together. The class of 2014 is what's up, and no one can fight that. Anthony Barbieri. Miss DVS's biology tests are still the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Abraham Rogers. It's like the stranger's kind of wonderful. You don't really know what you're doing, but neither does anyone else. There's a great faculty and a great vibe, and with that you just do it. In 4 years, you all just fumble through, successfully, and then you graduate. And it's so cool. Jordan Pig. Looking back now, Malvern came to me more than a daily familiar. In my nice little uni dorm looking over Montreal, I can see a progression of myself in that place. I love my Axler, my Odd, my morning smokes, and although I don't miss them, I will never forget them. Lil Bandy. I faked my address so I could come to Malvern. Of all the studying I've done here, the greatest lesson I've learned is that dishonesty pays off when it comes to prime nights and big views. The commander, Connor Neff. I'll always be confused when people are in the process of deciding what high school to go to. This is never something that I even thought about. Malvern was the only option. I can't thank my grade 8 self enough for that thought process, as this school gave me some of the greatest experiences, memories, and people in my life. No offense. And of course, none of these statements would be possible if it wasn't for the amazing teachers and staff that guided us over the past 4 years. Many of you made everlasting impacts in the way we think, act, and learn as individuals. I can confidently say on behalf of all the graduates here that we'll forever appreciate the role models who enlightened, inspired, and engaged with each of us on a respectful level. You'll always be the mentors we have a high regard for, and you know who you are. Graduates, I can't begin to explain the honor it is to stand in front of you today, sharing my advice, thoughts, and valued memories of this high school. But as I go, there are 2 final things I'd like to share with each and every one of you. The first being that if there's one thing Malvern taught me, it's to live to the fullest, be your best, and embrace your fears. If life just so happens to ever paddle, egg, or chase you through a ravine, I want you to dust yourselves off, and I want you to look around and think, this is only today, and I can't wait until tomorrow. And the second is to have one last look around you. Look to the person on your left, to the person on your right. These are your future business partners, teachers, lawyers, doctors, accountants, actors. But remember, regardless of what we will eventually become or do as a profession, within every adult is the same 18-year-old kid that you're sitting next to right now. So here's to our past, here's to the present, and here's to us. But more importantly, here's to our future, because it's waiting for us, right outside these doors. Good night, good luck, go Owen Mitchell, and of course, onward Malvern. Thank you.